I'm just simply not sure what we were trying to do with the hair here. Not entirely sure if that's better or worse, but we shall continue. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for an urgent Hoya repot. I will explain to you what happened, but before I do, let me introduce myself if you're here for the first time. My name is Miro. I could actually make up something else. Each video is like an opportunity for me to be whoever I want to be. I'm Cher. I mean, we are very close in birthdays. I was actually supposed to be born when Cher was born, on May 20th. Just imagine if I hadn't been 10 days early. If I could turn back time, right? Ugh, disgusting. Anyway, we have 4 Hoyas with me. Now, clarification, I should be doing this with 7 Hoyas. I have 3 over there, but those have quite a lot of mealybugs and they're not as sensitive, so I'm like crossing my fingers, things are going to be okay. If you're watching my videos for the first time, what recently happened is that I painted this entire room. Well, I didn't do it. The painters did it, but all of the plants, which is a significant number, had to go out. And there is not a lot of space where I can put them. And I guess this is where everyone else can come in. Now I'm explaining to everyone what happened. So a bunch of Hoyas went to my dad's workshop. Well, not a bunch, 8 or 9 went there. And, you know, in best intentions, what he did is he watered them. And he watered them a lot. And I was not checking on my plants. I knew that they don't have a lot of light to work with anyway, so I was hoping that, you know, they might get dry, but hopefully not too dry. But, you know, my dad was making sure that these plants are watered, and watered they were. Really, really, really watered. All of these Hoya are in self-watering pots, as we can tell. So what he did is he put a little saucer underneath because I think he thought these are regular pots, and he just kept watering them and watering them. And when I came to them, I noticed that they are sort of floating and all of the roots in the reservoir had rotted. There's quite a lot of rot. I actually have photos. Oh, this sticky sap here, which I don't like. I did recently treat them with Castile soap, and I don't like that we have sticky sap, so I think we need to spray them one more time just in case here. For the first time ever, I think, my Hoyas got overwatered, because I'm not an overwaterer. I am an underwaterer and peduncle damager. I just damaged the peduncle. Great job. Chaos from the beginning. I took one of these Hoyas out of the pot. I think it might have been this one, to just kind of see if the roots that are in the pot, so above the reservoir, if they're looking good, and they didn't. There was rot there too. So I think we might have an issue here. So we do need to repot these and take a look at those roots, get rid of the old mix, see what's happening. This one is, well, it's not super dehydrated, it's a little bit better, but considering that this is supposed to be watered, it's a little bit concerning that we have some wrinkly leaves. This is Hoya Graffiti that recently bloomed for the first time. It is a clone with yellow flower. There is LT accession number attached to this plant. I unfortunately did not take good photos, but this is a beautiful plant. Very, very nice leaves. These are, aside from the splashy one, my favorite Graffiti leaves because of that mid-rib thing that they have going on. I think that looks very beautiful. I love that a lot. And this is also a great opportunity for me to fix the trellises, because if we can't tell, that's annoying. We will fix that. We have another Hoya Graffiti. This one, I think I wrote the number IML 1856. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because the leaves are quite plain looking. I mean, they still have that mid vein type of a thing, but they're just not as pretty. The flower is quite plain, though it is a good bloomer, so I'm not sure. Maybe I will keep it. It's certainly not bad to have a good bloomer on a sad day when nothing else is blooming. We have one that is, I think, still in bloom. Yes, she is. It's Hoya Graffiti from China. This is the most beautiful thing ever. The leaves are gorgeous and splashy. This one is in pawn, so I'm a little bit scared that we might F it up because they're all going in organic mix. This one, gorgeous flowers. They smell so nice. I don't think they smell now. They do. I don't know how I would describe this. Certainly inhaled way too much there. I'll think about it and I will insert a voiceover or a small text. It's very familiar. It's kind of like some old soap. Anyway, this pot also cracked, so that has to be fixed too. Both the inner pot and the outer pot, you can see there's a lot of rot here. But with this one, we have some good roots, so that gives me faith and hope. And then we have Hoya that I also got as graffiti, but it's not, it bloomed. This is similar to Revolubilis. I don't remember, is it Revolubilis or Oreogana? Now, I don't know. But I think this is sold as species India with an accession number. I had to insert a brief voiceover here to clarify. I got this plant as Hoya graffiti, but the leaves and the flower match a Hoya that is sold on the market as Hoya species India with accession number IML1598. I also think that plant looks a lot like Hoya revolubilis. Since my plant came with no location nor accession number, I will just name it Hoya species affinity revolubilis, and I will put a note in my Hoya collection sheet that it visually matches a plant collected as species India under the accession number IML1598, noting to myself that I did not track the origin of my cutting to verify that. Well, to be fair, this one's been struggling even before this overwatering episode. She did not enjoy pawn whatsoever, so she didn't grow for a long time. So we are gonna fix her. I mean, for her, it's been urgent for a year. We clearly do not know the meaning of the word urgent here. Let's just begin with unpotting the plants. So I have to adjust the angle here. I am wearing gloves because I just sprayed my orchids with Castile soap. So that's why that's happening. But also because we're gonna deal with these. Okay, I think that's straight-ish. Let's begin with Hoya graffiti with the yellow flower. I got this from Farah in June of 2023. She was initially a good grower, and lately I haven't seen as many leaves as I've seen vines, but I did move her at least 6 months ago, if not more, in my northwest facing window, which does not get much light. So she kind of stopped growing as quickly as she used to. But I do think that graffiti tends to look better in lower light anyway. And it only bloomed once compared to other graffiti clones that I have, which are pretty good bloomers. The one from China did not bloom for the longest time, but once she decided it's blooming time, she was like on a roll, and she still blooms quite a lot. Maybe a little bit less now in summer. Maybe I will just take a look under the velcros and the zip ties if we have mealybug signs. So far, no. I don't like that there's sap there, or not sap, sticky stuff, right? But I think she was next to this one. I think she was next to the white one, so it's quite possible that from its flower, let's see. Let's recreate this as if it's a crime scene. This is approximately how they stand, so I think that's not a stretch for, yeah, that's probably how that got there, the sticky stuff, the sticky nectar. Hoya Detective should be my name. And let's take a look at the roots. Oh boy. So things are not looking amazing. I can see rot here. Let me zoom in. Maybe that's a bit too much. So we can see already visually that's rotted for sure. And if you're not sure, well, I guess this is for Hoya beginners, just tug gently on it and you can see how this separates. That's a rotten root. So I will gently, with my fingers, poke around, see what we can find. This is in cocoa husk, and there is some perlite. I think I might have originally rooted it in cocoa coir and perlite. So that's the layer that we see underneath. And a good thing is that there are good roots underneath, but there are a little bit of rotten roots on the outside. I have been meaning to repot them from this mix anyway, because they do get dry very fast, even in self-watering. So, you know, silver lining, this is all good. This is all good. So this is all healthy. I'm not going to remove these small bits. Well, this one I can, but like these very small ones, because the roots, they grow through the husk. I don't want to rip anything if we can minimize the damage at this point, because even though there are roots here that are healthy, we can all agree that considering the size of the plant, this is not a ton of roots, which, you know, we'll see in the rest of the graffiti if this is the case. Gently massage with your fingers. What I'm glad to see, or to not see, is root mealybugs. We don't have those on this one, so that's good. See, this whole part is rotten. At this point, I feel like I should be able to just put her down. Yeah, there's a lot of rot here. So this whole thing is rotted. Let me cut that off. You don't really need to do this. I mean, if you have rotten roots, there are ways to speed up the decomposure of the roots in the pot. I use Pure Zim. It's supposed to help, by Plagroon, not sponsored, but I found out about this, and you can use it when watering the plant, and it will just speed up the decomposition so you don't have dead roots in the pot, because that will affect the pH. It will make things more acidic, and while Hoyas do like acidic mix, you know, it will get to a point where it's way too acidic and then affect the rest of the roots. That's not a bad thing to use. It also brings oxygen to the roots. So this is quite a small root ball for such a big plant. I think a lot of those roots ended up in the reservoir. They were going for that water. And now I see that probably the reason she's dehydrated is because, well, she lost a big chunk of the root system there. Probably about a half, which is not amazing. Not amazing. As we can see, we're not working with a lot, but we are working with something. And that's a perspective I want you to keep in life. Hashtag life advice with Miro. It's not terrible. We've had worse. I will put it back here. I will not repot them immediately because I will wash the pots. Let's disinfect the scissors. Oh, that's a bit too much alcohol. Let's do the second one. Hopefully we have more roots on this one. The top layer seems to be more firmly rooted, so I think we do have more roots here. Looks like a little bit more, but there's still rot. Doesn't smell too bad, but I can see there is rot all the way up here. So let me show you again. Gosh, you really want to see everything. Just by visually inspecting, we can see rot here. So all the way to the top, which does not make me happy. Where is it? It's right there. Goes all the way to the top. Let's just see. Okay, initially this looked better, but hear me out. I think this one is worse because there's a lot more root rot going on. So it's not that we don't have any good roots, but I think the amount is really small and we might see some dehydration here happening. So essentially this portion is good roots, somewhat good roots, even those. Not everything looks amazing. I don't really know what to say, except that there's really not much left here. This is looking terrible. Interestingly, the leaves are still firm, but this is horrific. Horrific. It's a good thing that I pinned down this vine because we have some roots here that seem to be working still, but the main roots are really all but gone. This is where the main roots were. So those are all but gone. Really, now we are relying on these superficial roots, and even there we have some damage. So, not amazing. That's a little bit scary. I did not expect this one to be so bad. Actually, I had Hoyas that look far worse than these, and they had more roots when they had root rots. So I don't actually even know how these are looking decent. The pawn one, let's expect amazing roots. Maybe she's fine in pawn. Maybe I should leave it. What happened with this pot? This pot is falling apart completely. What the heck? This is the first of these pots that has fallen apart. Just take her out. I mean, since the pot broke, should I just keep breaking it? The way this breaks is in like most atrocious pieces that are super sharp. Can maybe just we quit here and I put it back. These roots actually look great. Though I did keep this very dry. This should be over now. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. The trellis is out. Is there a part of room in which pawn didn't land? Because it went all the way there, all the way. Oh, I want a break. I want to take a break. This is my, oh no, we broke a flower. Oh, whatever. The roots actually don't look that bad. There is some rot, but I imagine some of this rot is from before. So this doesn't look bad. I'm just going to see if I can do something about this. I did use leca here because it was a big pot, and I was hoping that it would help dust from pawn not settle, and you know, it kind of worked, but it didn't work in all of them. And some people before thought when I was, you know, dissing pawn that it's because of leca on the bottom. But it's not, see? These roots are mostly okay. This small amount of rot is insignificant. Now what I'm going to do is just see if I can massage this a little bit. So we are left mostly with roots, and then we can go into organic. I'm gonna try not to overdo it, so we don't cause unnecessary damage, but where I see that it's kind of loose, I will just gently go in. This actually feels like massaging. I never had a massage. I think I'd feel awkward. I don't know, have you ever had a massage? It just never occurred to me that it's something I should do, you know? Like, it's a stranger. I don't think that the massage itself would overcome, like the relaxation that you get. I don't think it would overcome the anxiety and the stress I would feel because it's so awkward. You came here to listen about massages, not to watch me massage the Hoya roots. That's a pretty decent root ball, I would say. I'm just gonna lay you here like a corpse. She's one of my favorite Hoyas, really. This one deserves everything. I'm going to kick something out of a pot, honey. Don't worry. If something is taking up a beautiful pot you can be in, trust me, it will be kicked out. I honestly cannot tell you how this Revolubilis is even alive. I mean, this should be really straightforward with this one. Oh, it's like slimy. I just know this is bad. I just know it. Yeah. Well, I am shocked. I am shocked. She really did not like pawn or a self-watering setup, and we're gonna fix that. And you're gonna show us what you got, or what you could get, whatever. This is really disgusting. Are any of these good? At this point, I think like miracle is keeping her alive because these are awful roots. Are you living out of spite, honey? I mean, some of these must be working because she's absolutely not dehydrated. But I'm just not really sure what is working here for you because this is terrible. My other revolubilis is actually in cocoa husk and it's going okay. It's just never really a fast plant for me. It starts, but then it stops. Goodness gracious, you really have nothing. 90% of these are bad roots. This is just... I'm gonna pot her a little bit deeper in hopes that we will get roots here. But this is just... What is this? When I tell you I neglected her, I wasn't joking. What an angle. I'm gonna go find pots. I will use the same size. I just want to find clean pots because I don't want to wash anything now. And I will be back and I will clean the floor in the meantime. All right, we are back. I found 2 pots. I wish one of them was see-through, but they're not. Let me just see which one do we fit in. For the big one, I think this is fine. I don't want to overpot them. And for the small ones, I will use the wick from the pots that we have, but I will use these Temu pots. Actually, let me just see. No, doesn't work. We need something bigger for that. It's okay. These can go into these. And there's like a little lip and the reservoir will be a little bit smaller, but I think it's going to be fine. No better time than now to try it out, right? I'm just realizing I forgot the potting mix. What are you thinking about? I will just melt some holes for the trellises. I forgot a trellis. You know what? F it. I'm just gonna use this existing trellis. It's not too big, it's fine. That works. The Hoya is dripping everywhere. Well, I feel that you are not working with me here. Let's see if we can still use this trellis. I'm just gonna very lightly touch this with the soldering iron to just mark where the holes should be, but not really drill through because we have roots. So if we could not burn the roots, that would be amazing. What I will do is I will try to get a piece of bamboo and fix that trellis now. I have a rogue piece of bamboo, so let's try to fix this. Where are the scissors, Miro? Where are the scissors? We're now getting into the chaos territory, if we weren't in it. I will use electrical tape. This is what I did for a bunch of my trellises, apparently not for these ones, where I sort of used electrical tape to just make them last a little bit longer. The part that's going to be in the potting mix, that's going to get wet, is with electrical tape, so I will just fix this, and no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know, except you. But you will not tell anyone. Perfect. Looks like it never happened. I think I have to remove the gloves for this. It's too sticky. Ugh, nasty. We will just use the electrical tape here and wrap the entire thing. There's a piece of my hair. No one's gonna know. Great, perfect. Like it was supposed to be that way. Amazing. Will this break? Yes. Thankfully, we have a way to solve this now. Okay, let's get zip ties. My foot is dangerously close to the soldering iron. And before I forget, you have to put the wick inside. I almost forgot. I should actually probably wash those wicks. I'm just going to do a little bit of the potting mix on the floor of the pot before I put in the Hoya. The way that I typically do this is I put the trellis and then the Hoya in, so I get to zip tie the trellis without the roots being there. Let's try not to zip tie the roots and cut the excess of the zip tie. Let's add the potting mix. This time it's just bark and pumice and just a little bit of moss. I would typically put cocoa husk here, but I currently do not have buffered cocoa husk. That's something I need to do. There we go. And a benefit, now this can hang. And then let's do another graffiti. Thankfully, this one doesn't have many roots. Who knew that would be a silver lining? So this is gonna be a little bit easier, I think. Oh, I forgot to put the potting mix on the bottom. I also forgot to put the wick. Can I do? I don't think I can do it. I have to take this out. I have to cut the zip ties on this side. Okay, I guess I was trying to do these things fast, and instead we get to do them twice, which is just what we wanted. Let's just put it in a pot so we don't forget it. And then I'll see if I'll even attach, or how I will attach the other trellis. Now let's try this again. You know, I think in my stubbornness not to untrellis these Hoyas, I think this is taking longer. And it's unnecessarily harder. I should have just untrellised them, especially because I will probably at some point do it anyway. I don't know how good this will be at wicking. Once the roots grow in, I think it will be fine, but initially we might need to top water this until the roots grow in. I did plant it a little bit deeper to cover more of that stem, giving it more surface to root. And let's just do revolubilis. Before I put the rest of the mix, I'm just gonna drill a couple of holes to fasten this trellis. The thing I like the least about these trellises is that now it's going to be a little bit hard to get that potting mix in there. Perfect. And then we have one more. That one is going in this pot, which has a cracked bottom. What the heck? This is like the third pot that cracked. I don't like this. I have to buy more pots. I mean, I still have more, but I don't know, like, since several of them cracked, I just feel we might be in the cracking era. Which is not a good name for an era, is it? So this is the last one. I'm going to wash them in the shower because now they're filthy. To shower them, I mean, I guess the efficiency of Castile soap has worn out anyway, but in a week I think I will need to spray them again. So that's what I will do, and I will wash these inner pots, hopefully no more cracked, or sorry, outer pots. And I guess I will have to find another outer pot for this big Griffithy and clean up a bit, and then I will come back to tell you goodbye. We are back in somewhat cleaner setting, and the Hoyas are here. So the big Griffithy from China. And I just have to tell you, I am a genius. So this is the original setup of these pots. And as you can see, they really don't have a lip. It's very flush here, which when you try to take them out makes it super hard, especially when you shower the Hoya because it gets so slippery. So that gets very tough, particularly in pond. Now, I am a genius because with this, we just get a tiny lip, which I don't think anyone will be bothered by, and much easier to grab. That's super simple. Why couldn't they do this? Another thing, now this pot is see-through. Very cheap see-through pot. I'm a genius. Also, zip tying the trellis, always genius, because you can just grab it by the trellis. So I hope that this setup is going to work. I just watered them with the shower. I did not put any water in the reservoir. This is the yellow flower Griffithy. Doesn't really move that much, just a little bit, it's fine. This one, hopefully now will get more roots. Great, we love it. We love the lip. Genius. Should have my own self-watering pot company. And then this one with the least amount of roots. Looking good. So I think I will try this out on more pots as we move on. I think that can be the way forward. And with that, I leave you. So just so you know, I'm a genius. I mean, we knew that before, but now we have the confirmation that I am a genius. So I will put them back in the window and monitor them for mealybugs. Hopefully we will not see more of them, but one never knows. And I do have 3 more Hoyas from that window that need a repot because they were also in my dad's workshop. But those I separated because I'm also actively treating them for mealybugs right now. So maybe I will not repot them right away. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. We'll see how they fare. It's Crassipetiolata Splash, Mini Bell Splash, and then one of the Pubicalixes, the splashy one. So those are going to be, I think, separated for a bit longer. So this is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. Not everything went according to the plan, but it went. It went. We can now sign off with all of the Hoyas around us. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you soon in the next video. Let me know what planned chores you did. Were you lazy? Did you just sit there and watch this video? Okay, I mean, you can do that too. Why is there my hair here? I mean, it's organic, I guess, so it'll be fine. I'm gonna put these back and water. I have to water the cabinet and many other Hoyas. It's a sad Friday evening. Okay, bye. Pure genius. I can't get over it. I would like to take some time to thank all of my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons. My 2 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Anne Margaret Moon, Andrea Cherish, Angela Bernard, Anna Malia, Anna P. Aspen Drake, Betsy Brett Noble, Catherine Molina, Connie Pagano, Daniela Danube Daniels, Daria W, Deanne Sikorsky, Edith W, Elena Saxon, Ellen, Farah Francis Wilkins, Gathering Moss, Gina Geisig, Rositz Kyle, Hannah Matlin, Hoji Scott, Into the Forest, Yana Griffin, Jen C, Jessica Chio, Jody D. Gomez, Jonas Barr, Hjorth Larson, Kara, Catherine P, Casey Gross, Kelso, Kimberly Polka, Christy Ehrlich, Ann Lindberg, Lee Mooney, Luka Zerchevsky, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Maria Zakova, Marina Yarmolich, Marty Miller, Melissa Walker, Michelle Heron, Mirka Grun Roos, MJW, Moa Edmund, Miss Seidenhar, Anna Naley Yang, Nicole Maroney, Nanguen, Nita Macy, Odette, PJ, Saig Sarah, Rachel Peterson, Rebecca C, Renee Church, Sharon Bo, Nico and Starla Von Lith, Subi Cordecangas, Tessa Martins, Thomas Marsden, Tia B, Trista Bailey, Tristan Thomas, Ben Eilian, Xenia Greenyouth of the Balmud, Zaira Rivera, Zlakov Niponi, and A Flower. A big thank you to my $3 patrons: Botany Bands, Kilone, Daryl Del Rosario, Eden Corlett, Holly Borner, Ivy, Joanna, KPZ, Lindsay Ann, Maria Isabel, Monica Wykers, Ringlov, Tangwat Nisria Cool, VH, and www.myhoya.shop. And a thank you to my $1 patrons: Alice Borland, Ann C., Brandon Pacheco, Couture Helvetica, Deepanjali Rao, Emilia Bronson, Jolie Sullivan, Julie Lafford, Kayla Vavra, Kelly Ash, Kelly Gallagher, Chris Perez, Lori Ann Subramanian, Blasmin Fernandez, Mary Diamond, Mary Rose, Neely Spicer, Nerdy Kathy, Olivia Chin Mueller, Pacific Northwest Plant Lady, Pax Slydig, and Steph Fox.